Welcome to Thinking Women,
the intelligent conversation show.
I'm Max.
And I'm Lou.
And welcome to the November edition of our show.
So, what we're going to say is we're filming this 2 days before lockdown. So we're on Tuesday today.
That's right.
When you're watching this, we will all be in lockdown. So we wish you well, and we just want to say I hope lockdown is going okay for all of you.
I think because we're more prepared for it this time, it's going to be, I mean, for me, it feels slightly different. And certainly with our guest today, we've talked about that, and we've got some exciting stuff which should keep us all going through the next month. Anyway, so who have you got on the show today?
Okay, well, I've got a lovely interview with Cath King, who's the owner and artistic director of the Old Bakery Studios down here in Cornwall. And she's talking to me about what's happened with the arts, basically, over the COVID-19 situation. So she's really interesting.
Yeah, so difficult, isn't it, for people who are working in the arts?
Yeah, really tough. But she's got some great inspiration. She's got some inspiration for us, actually, so that's great.
Good. And I have interviewed Julian Rowlands, who has set up a business called Love Reigate. And also we've got Kerra Buchanan, who's going to be in the show showing us how to make the perfect lockdown salad.
Perfect.
So, first, what's been in your inbox this week, Lou?
Well, thinking about going back into lockdown again, I've been sort of perusing. I do quite love a funny Facebook site.
Oh, yeah?
Do you? There's these little groups, aren't there? So, this is one that I came up, and it's called Crap You Will Find in Charity Shops.
Right, as opposed to the amazing stuff that we find in charity shops, which was featured on our last show. So, and what's been on this group then?
Honestly, you've got to check it out. It's hilarious. There's all sorts of weird and wonderful ornaments and stuff. But I've just kind of honed in on the fashion because we love a bit of fashion. So first up, how about this? This is, I think, the ultimate Christmas jumper.
Nice. And I know you do like Christmas jumpers. So again, going back to our very first edition of the show, we talked about Christmas jumpers, love or hate them. And obviously 12 months on, we're coming round again to that. And I expect Christmas is going to be a big thing for us being at home. And what else did you find?
Well, then this is a bag in the shape of a croc. Now,
whoa.
Just we could have a whole show about how I hate crocs. But they make a bag out of it.
Goodness me.
So bad taste.
Wow. And what's next? What's this?
What do you think that is?
Well, it looks like fish.
It's flip-flops. They're coddies. They're cod. They're fish flip-flops.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, style trend. And how about that? Another Christmas one.
Brilliant.
Dance into Christmas. Like Christmas Day, like Theresa May.
Brilliant.
Oh, bless her, poor woman. I mean, she was completely vilified by that dance routine, wasn't she?
But the great thing, goodness me, okay.
Move over Theresa May when you've got this.
Finally, right. Okay, enough said. But I think
that was designed for me personally.
The great thing is, that people are recycling and upcycling, whatever it is. So
I just think, who knitted that?
Yes, well, and then what's this one
and
here?
Finally, not a fashion thing, but as we're going to the presidential election, who knew that Donald Trump had written a book of poetry?
Well, if I was a betting woman, I'd say he's probably done that amongst many other things. Okay,
anyway,
lovely.
So what about you, Mags?
Well,
what have you found?
Again, sort of harking back to one of the episodes where I had my eyebrows done.
Yeah, I remember.
I thought I'd look at what was happening with eyebrow trends, and I found some absolutely lovely ones here. And I think certainly if we're at home and we've got time to experiment, and also if you're not going out and you don't care if it goes wrong and someone sees it, then these are some that we could try.
But wait, I have to look at that one that goes like this.
Huge,
I mean, the rest I can kind of go there for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But Mickey Mouse over there, what's she do? What's going on there?
I don't know. I mean, the one that I quite like though is the plaited one.
Yeah, that's quite sophisticated.
Yeah, that actually looks quite nice. I mean, I'm sure they're tattoos. I can't believe they're real.
No, I don't know. We need a brow expert, don't we? Well, maybe when we come back after lockdown, we can have the lovely Kieran, and she can do one of those.
That'd be great.
Yeah, how about that?
Absolutely, yes. Anyway, so if anyone's got any comments or photographs of their eyebrows in lockdown, or if you've been to a charity shop recently and found some wonders, then please let us know.
Please let us know. But first up, we've got our first guest of the show. Mags is cooking with Kerra.
So we're about to go back into lockdown, which means the restaurants and bars are going to be shut and we're going to be at home cooking. So for those people who love to cook, that's amazing, and I'm certainly in that category. But for those of you who are not sure, what do you do? Well, we've got Kerra Buchanan here today, who's from Kerra's Catering and Helford Hog Roast, who's going to be showing us how to put together the perfect, quick, easy salad. So Kerra's going to be making a halloumi and courgette salad,
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk us through what you're doing.
I've got some courgette that I've just topped and tailed and cut lengthways.
Okay.
And put a little bit of olive oil on, which is I've just put into a hot griddle pan. And then I've got some halloumi, which I've cut lengthways. Again, I've got a little bit of olive oil on.
Lovely. Love halloumi cheese.
So I'm going to put... This is obviously a griddle pan. If you don't have a griddle pan, you can just use a flat frying pan, but I like the kind of marks of the griddle,
Yeah.
but, you know, personal preference.
And what heat have you got this on? So
Got that quite high.
Right.
Yeah. I've got it on a number 8 of a 10 scale, so, yeah, quite
Yeah,
high.
so you're trying to get it quite crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it golden brown as opposed to
Lovely.
black, so just kind of maybe not your top heat.
Yep. Okay. And how long is this going to be in here?
That's going to take about 4 or 5 minutes to brown either side.
Perfect.
So what I'm going to do whilst that is cooking, I'm going to make a little bit of a dressing to go with it.
Amazing. So what dressing are you going to be preparing?
I'm doing hazelnuts, rocket with lemon and olive oil and a little bit of salt. Yeah, so kind of I like a kind of a pesto, but maybe not as smooth, a kind of a rough textured.
Nice.
Actually, I'm going to put a bit of salt and pepper.
So these are all really, really sort of easy ingredients, aren't they, that you can get?
Yeah, definitely. This is the
get
kind
from
of
the
thing that I would
supermarket.
throw together for like my daughter and I for lunch at home. You know, just a real simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, courgettes are seasons literally just come to an end. We've had a really good courgette season in Cornwall this year, but we've literally just got to the end of ours. But obviously you can get courgettes all year round.
Yeah,
now,
I
but,
get them any supermarket, can't you? And halloumi cheese. Well, a few years ago, I remember trying to get halloumi cheese pretty difficult, but now it's standard and definitely a favourite.
So in here, I'm going to pop. I've got some blanched hazelnuts with the skins off. If you can't get the skin off ones, just the ones with the skin on, just roast them in the oven for a few minutes and then rub them between a tea towel to get.
Okay, that's a handy tip, isn't it? Just to get the skin off the nuts.
So, and I'm going to put the rocket in.
And if you haven't, I was going to say, if you've not got a blender at home, can you do this sort of, crushing it with a mortar and pestle, or do you need to have the blender really?
You could do it in a mortar and pestle, or you could put the hazelnuts under a tea towel with a rolling pin, give them a good bash, and then chop the rocket. Would work absolutely fine.
So another good tip, and fun for the kids as well. Anything, I know with my two, anything involving hitting stuff with a rolling pin in a bag, making crumbles or whatever they're up for. So that's good. That's the lemon going in there.
Yeah, so just going to put a little bit of lemon.
And if you've not got lemon, can you use a lime or lemon juice just from the bottle? Does that work as well?
Yeah, you can. You can use a bit of
So it's a good, quick, easy lunch.
Yeah.
To put together. Because it's going. I mean, it's a month, isn't it? I know a lot of people have already been in lockdown, but it's a lot of lunches and dinners to plan, isn't it? So any ideas are useful.
Yeah, I think that was the thing everybody found hardest. The last lockdown was kind of, are we doing this again? It's just
it's
every meal. It's
But I think people are better prepared for it this time. Are you finding that as well?
Yeah, I think it will be better. And obviously, this time I've got the children home, which is going to be a huge difference for the minute because previously, we were working, homeschooling, cooking,
trying to do everything. Yeah.
You can go as coarse or as fine as you like. I quite like the chunky bits of hazelnut on it. If you've got a blender and you prefer a smoother dressing, then it's just a personal preference, really. So whilst that's running, I'm going to put some oil in. So that's emulsified really, really nice.
Yeah,
it's just
that's quite a bit of oil you put in there, I noticed as well.
About 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons, right.
And then just once that's finishing off, this is a bit of a tip which I quite like for a lunch, is just to tear up a tortilla and pop it in the toaster. Gives you a nice crispy bit of crunch on the side. So they just pop that down.
They're great, those things, aren't they? I mean, we make pizzas out of them and all
sorts.
sorts.
So
They're
handy.
so versatile, aren't they?
But I find this, I
I quite like crisps, you see, terrible for crisps. I kind of find I've toasted, it kind of gives you the crunch, but without the kind of the salt and the fat.
Healthy crisp.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. And again, fun for the kids as well, isn't it? So it's all about giving them something to do as well.
Okay, so we're nearly...
And if you've not got courgette, then is there any other
asparagus works really well. Asparagus, I quite like tender stem broccoli.
Yeah.
I mean, depending how crunchy you like your vegetable, you can blanch the tender stem broccoli first before you griddle it. Or a few quarters of red pepper. Anything like that will work quite well.
Fantastic. It's all looking, smelling gorgeous.
So yeah, then basically I just
and this is all quite fun as well, isn't it? About putting it all together and making the food look quite beautiful. I know sort of at home we sort of sometimes pretend we're in a restaurant. Let's try and make everything look very pretty.
Yeah, I think that's the fun thing. And I think a lot of that went on through lockdown because people weren't going out to eat, so they kind of made, the restaurant came to them.
And it's probably, lockdown's probably making us better chefs, isn't it, in some ways? It's getting us involved and getting people to cook.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I definitely had more friends get in touch than previously, asking for tips on things and cooking things they hadn't used before.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite exciting for people to try.
Yeah.
And I think lockdown brought out a lot of local suppliers that were delivering. Some people you were unaware that there was like cauliflower, courgettes, asparagus, potatoes growing around their homes in Cornwall.
Yeah.
And I think it was great for people to realise what they can buy.
Well, we got a veg box delivered every week, and that was brilliant because they'd send whatever was in season, and we just have to deal with it and go, right, what we're going to do with this. And it was hilarious. It was great fun. It was a good experience. They look good. I've never done that before. Wraps in a toaster, so that's a new one for me.
So then we've got this quite chunky lemon and rocket.
That looks stunning.
And then with a bit of a crunch on the side.
Amazing.
So yeah,
Fabulous.
Quite simple, quite quick, but real tasty lunch.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for that, Kerra, and good luck with lockdown. Hope it all goes well.
Thank you.
So thanks, Kerra, for that amazing demonstration of how to make the perfect lockdown salad. Look delicious. I know.
I can't wait to try it. I can't wait. Look, thanks to COVID-19, the arts in the UK have been completely decimated. I caught up with Cath King, who's the owner and artistic director of the Old Bakery Studios in Cornwall. She has been a leading light in keeping the arts at the forefront during this difficult time. Cath, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. So I would say, well, along with a lot of other people, that the Old Bakery Studio is the coolest venue in the southwest, if not.
No decrying any fantastic venues anywhere else and things, but it is a bit of a grungy factory floor, isn't it? And people really love it, don't they?
So
it's just a great place for show.
How's it evolved? I mean, was it your vision when you I mean, actually, let's take you through how how did it all come about? Let's start there.
So whilst we took over the studios and offices 5 years ago, the ground floor was absolutely full of junk, old bakery equipment from the 80s, 90s. Any crap had been thrown in there, really. So we started to clear it out, and it was a bit intimidating. We didn't have a definite plan. Then a art event came along that wanted to use an abandoned old building. So we forged a way forward, getting the temporary electrics in for that. And then soon after that, which was a great event, soon after that, the Bowie Lounge came along and said the Bowie would have loved it. So we all worked together to get a show going, a wallpaper pasting table for a bar, got it all in there, and the atmosphere was electric. Were you there at that one?
I wasn't at that one, no. I think it was the next one after that.
It was, people were just to see a crowd laughing, crying, singing along. It was electric, and we got the bug. And there was a lot of encouragement. People just saying, "You've got to carry on with this. It's such a great place for a show." And it's got a good capacity for Cornwall, hasn't it? 250 standing at tops, and then between 50 and 120 seated, depending on the cabaret layouts.
Not too big and not too small, so it creates that atmosphere. And I think organically word spread, didn't it? And people were like, you've got to go here, it's so cool. And I think maybe because you didn't make it, and I remember when the first time I went there, it looked like I was going into sort of like East Germany or something, and that sort of cool. And I suddenly felt, you know, not to decry any other venues in Cornwall or the Southwest, but it wasn't surfy vibe. It was very urban, and that's what you've kept going. I think
industrial,
that's what
urban.
And that's what people, when they come from out of the county to perform, they love that, don't they?
Yeah, it does get called the Cornish Hacienda, or I don't know, all sorts, a little piece of Shoreditch. So we're lucky to be able to keep such a big building on the river in that kind of use. It's not becoming flats and other things, and it's got a secure future. And it's funny, isn't it, that it's still the old corridors you come in when you come to a gig, the back way, the UV long corridor. It's quite dramatic, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
And people
it's
just
exciting.
think, where are we going? Where the hell are you taking me?
And that's the thing about going out, isn't it? And of course, you know, we need to talk about, we can't go out again, you know, we're about to go into another lockdown, but you know, that when you are going out, that excitement that you're going to somewhere different and the anticipation of what's going to happen. And I think the Old Bakery Studios, when you get in there, what you put on there is always something different, I would say.
Very eclectic programming, isn't it? So we'd like to make the effort to not only have the live bands with a big range of genres, but small shows, theatre shows. We do a lot of parties as well. But I feel like we're the backdrop of just showcasing the acts. We're the phenomenal acts that come through. They're the ones that bring the crowd, and we just provide a great place for them to perform and their fans to come.
But you've been really instrumental in helping the arts in the Southwest.
Well, thank you.
Yourself, but as part of the Old Bakery, and of course now going into lockdown. So how did you deal with the previous lockdown? And I know that you had some great ideas in keeping the arts alive, and that's what I would say you've been brilliant at, is keeping, because the arts have been totally shafted as an industry. So tell us what you have done.
Yeah. Well, I suppose because we're a little bit smaller, we can move in different ways. And from a business point of view, I guess the first thought was to regroup and to adapt. So we have got a lot of freelancers who weren't getting any work in the early months. We can move relatively quickly because we can advertise events 6 weeks before, not like the larger events or festivals who need to have much longer run-ups.
Brilliant.
So we did clearly stop all activity and cancel or move all shows. They're not released, but the calendar for next year is pretty exciting, and I'm quite proud of looking through it. You know, I'm sure it'll happen. But the months where it went quiet gave us the opportunity to apply for Arts Council funding, and we were just trying to think of what is the best use of this time. It may not come along again. It's a good 6 months of a real pause for the actual events, isn't it? So whilst we turn to some Arts Council funding applications, which take quite a lot of time.
Yeah, that's a huge effort, actually.
Yeah, I've not done it before, and I'd have never done it without the help of the Music Venue Trust, who are a charity that represent all venues in England, and they provided a huge amount of support, webinars. They even had accountants check the applications and give feedback before we even submitted them, and they gave structured spreadsheets and things, so there was help there. Luckily I found somebody locally to help as well, who was good at writing the narratives, and I'd encourage anyone to look at that, any small business.
Yeah, brilliant. That's really good advice.
So that's what we did,
But I think a lot of people don't know that these grants are available, and I think that's really important that we talk about that, especially at the moment, because there is quite a few around, I would say, that you can apply for if you're in that situation. Yeah,
so there's, with the Arts Council website has got a creative practice grant, which is for anybody who wants to do research and development or look at the future of creatively of what they could be doing. So that's up to £10,000, I think. So that's one of them, isn't it? Then there's a smaller grant coming for business premises that will have had to have shut over the next month.
Okay, so there's plenty of scope out there. So you've basically
just try to make the
pulled
most of
that
it as
together
much
and
as possible.
Yeah, and made the most of it. So what?
Trying to, yeah.
So what's the plan now,
Yeah, okay.
moving forward then? And any advice within your plan? I mean, I would say, look to what you've done. Cath has done at the Old Bakery. If you are a small or medium-sized arts operation, because you've really pulled it off, I would say. You haven't just gone online. I know it's great to go online, but you've got so much going on. So what's happening
could
now?
have done that.
What's happening now?
So now we're at the start of a very exciting project called Old Bakery TV, OBTV. So the first filming day is tomorrow.
Exciting.
And there's a great lineup. So we felt that there was a lot of live stream events already out there from this year. So we decided, well, why not go one up and one bigger? So we're going to see how it goes, but we will have an Old Bakery television episode filmed and fully produced and ready for launch in the next couple of weeks.
Brilliant.
So a few acts with a showcase for Southwest arts, culture and music, and we'll pull on lots of genres. We'll be filming a holiday New Year's Eve special soon, and just get as many people as involved as possible. The whole point of it is not only to raise our profile and be able to use and make more of the video content, which we haven't necessarily had the funds to do before, but it's to showcase and give work to all the freelancers in the industry that work with us.
Yeah.
Sound engineers, lighting engineers, producers, videographers, cameramen, the people that help behind the scenes to book all the shows, as well as all the artists. Everyone's getting paid a fair wage for all of the work for the Old Bakery television project, and that's what the Arts Council was for.
That's amazing, because what people need to remember within the arts, it's not just the people on the stage who are losing their jobs and not getting paid. It's a huge amount of people.
Yeah, a huge supply chain. Even bigger for festivals. It's just, and we're seeing glimpses of it from the social media and the Facebook events groups that are just supporting and championing freelancers and the bigger projects and things. So we felt we'll just do what we can do in our small way to support our freelance community, as well as make sure we're all there singing and dancing. Literally by maybe April, we would have hoped that larger shows could go ahead. We have got a lovely programme, not this month clearly, but 50 seated with table service. And it's a lovely place for a cabaret layout, isn't it?
Yeah,
it does work really nicely. Intimate shows and lead singers of acts where you might not get to see them alone. They're usually with a full band doing a standing busy gig. So to do 50 seated becomes more of an audience with kind of night, a bit chatty, ask lots of questions, intimate events.
Brilliant.
A nice atmosphere.
I just think, thanks, Cath, because it is inspirational to talk to you, because there is a lot of doom and gloom in the arts, and like you say, there are ways to make it work with a bit of vision and hard work to get through this for everybody. So good luck with it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and good luck with the TV.
Thank
Can't
you very
wait
much.
to see it.
Yay.
So many people, unfortunately, will have lost their jobs recently. And for many, the furlough scheme will be coming to an end. But what to do about work going forward? Applying for jobs is the obvious answer, but where there's not work available, maybe setting up on your own is the answer. I met someone who's done just that, Julian Rowlands.
So I'm delighted to be joined by Julian Rowlands, who's going to talk to me about his experience of his career change in lockdown and what it's meant for him and the launch of his new business. So Julian, welcome to Thinking Women.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on the show. So tell me, what happened to you during lockdown, and what has that meant for you, and what exciting venture have you put together?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly been an interesting 2020, as I'm sure it has been for lots of people. But yeah, I started the year in my career working for an agency that provides loyalty solutions. Everything was going really well. Then lockdown happened. Unfortunately, the business took some decisions which meant that my role was made redundant.
And this is something that I know a lot of people have experienced as well. And it's so lovely that you're happy to share sort of how that was. So, I mean, was it a surprise to you? How did that feel when?
To be honest, it was. If I'm honest, I could maybe see it happening further down the line. But when it happened quite so soon, so it happened to me middle of May. I was a little bit surprised that it was that quick. So I hadn't planned for this. I didn't really know what to do at that time.
Yeah. So that was May.
Yeah.
Now fast forward to October.
Yeah.
And you were about to launch your new business, which is called Love Reigate. So if there's anyone watching from Reigate, hi. We're up here for half term, so filming from the Reigate studio today. So tell us all about that. So how did that come about, and what is the business all about?
Okay, yeah. So when I started in June, I was looking for a new job. Really competitive out there, really competitive. You know, there's lots of really strong candidates. So you know, I was struggling to get interviews, to get in the door with corporates to get my new role. And so I thought, right, what can I do myself to actually try and take control of the situation? So I've got quite a long background and expertise in a number of things that are quite relevant to what Love Reigate is all about. And so I thought, right, I'll try and find another job, but actually let's try and set something up myself and do something that I've always wanted to do.
So rather than wait for someone else to come and take your talent and say, right, okay, we need that, think about what you're good at and actually going out and creating a business around that. So tell us, what is it you're doing?
So Love Reigate is a community-based business that's going to be looking to grow and support local businesses. A lot of high streets like Reigate at the moment have got empty shops. The local businesses themselves have been struggling through lockdown. But actually within the community, wider community, there's a lot of support from local residents to be able to, support their local businesses and keep their economies thriving.
And of course we need that, because the local businesses need the work and support as much as people need to get out and spend money if they can and live normally. So what sort of offers are you going to be giving through Love Reigate?
So there are two products, I suppose, that Love Reigate will be selling.
Yeah.
One of them is the Love Reigate membership club.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be buying a membership, could be 6 months or 12 months, and that unlocks for you special offers and special deals that I've negotiated only at local independent businesses.
Amazing.
So it's not, I'm not working with the big chains. This is all about partnering with local small businesses.
And that's so key, isn't it? Because quite often when you see these sort of loyalty cards and VIP cards, they're very much tailored towards the big companies. And of course, people like M&S and so on, they've got their own loyalty scheme, but the small retailers quite often can't get into that, can they? So it's something that's serving the local businesses as well as the consumer, which sounds amazing. So that's one of the products.
Yeah,
and the other one?
The other one, actually, I had a bit of inspiration from talking to friends and family. So the other one is a gift card. Gift card, that's nothing new, but this is a gift card for Reigate. So it's the Love Reigate gift card, where you give it to your loved one or friends or family, and they can then decide where they want to spend that. So rather than always be giving a gift card for your favourite boutique or gift shop, you give the gift card, the Love Reigate gift card, and that's accepted at a whole range of different local businesses.
Brilliant.
So again, it's just keeping
So it's like
local.
a gift voucher for the town.
It's a gift voucher for the town, for local businesses.
What a great idea. But just thinking about it from a consumer angle, so there's another angle to this, another sort of slant on what you're doing. So tell us about that.
Yeah, there is. So whilst the membership unlocks value for the local residents, it also then drives footfall and spend to those local businesses. But what I'm also doing is helping to give something back to the local community.
And how's that working?
So what I'm going to be doing is giving away a portion of the membership fee, and I'll be giving that directly to local charities in the Reigate area.
Brilliant.
So that the community and support that really needs it, something is going to be going back to them.
So what an amazing initiative. So you're helping the businesses, you're helping the customers, you're helping the charities in the area. It sounds absolutely brilliant. So that's Reigate.
Yeah.
What plans have you got beyond that?
Okay, so I'm going to treat Reigate, obviously this is the first time I set up a business, so I'm sure there's going to be a few challenges along the way, but I'm going to test Reigate, see if it works, but longer term, there's definitely potential to roll this out within other local towns within the area that I can oversee more directly. But actually, this I suppose this model has definitely got legs to be franchisable, to go across other similar towns and locations across the country.
Yeah, and presumably that will give other people the opportunity as well to run, say, a franchise in their area and give something back to their community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it's very timely because a lot of people are really minded around supporting the community, and similar people, maybe in my situation, maybe not working at the moment, but maybe need an opportunity, and hopefully this could be that for them.
And that's what comes across. I mean, it's just so lovely to meet people and hear stories about people who've found themselves in a situation where they've not got the secure job that they used to have, but thought, you know what, actually, I'm going to go off and do this and try something new. So that's really inspiring. I'm sure people will be really pleased to hear about what you're doing and hopefully be inspired as well. So if anyone wants to find out any more information about Love Reigate, or if you're in an area and you're interested in setting up your own franchise and would like to speak to Julian, then let us know. But thank you so much for coming on the show, and good luck.
Thanks for having me, Max.
Well, that's it for another month. Thank you to all our amazing guests. Fantastic as ever.
Yes, it's been brilliant. And good luck everyone during lockdown. Keep your comments coming, get in contact and share your thoughts with us. It's your show, remember.
Stay safe, everybody. Till next time.
Bye.